From the Supreme Court's firm stance on Bulldozer justice to renowned tensions between India and Pakistan over the ICC Champions Trophy venue alongside the kickoff of Phase 1 of Jharkhand's assembly elections. Here are the major stories of the day in today's news wrap. Hi, I'm Flora Swai and you're watching the Indian Express. Let's get started. Delivering a strong stance against Bulldozer justice, the Supreme Court on 13th of November ruled that the authorities cannot demolish homes or properties solely because individuals are accused or convicted of crimes. The court also mandated that no demolitions are to be conducted without giving the property owner a 15-day advance notice and adhering strictly to statutory guidelines. Additionally, the Apex Court made an important observation on the issue. Let's dive into our report for an in-depth analysis of today's proceedings.
The Supreme Court has ruled that states cannot demolish homes or properties of accused persons simply because they are allegedly involved in crimes. The court emphasized that such demolitions, if done without due process, are unconstitutional. A bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and K.V. Vishwanathan delivered the verdict. They stated, quote-unquote, "If the executive demolishes the house of a citizen on the sole ground that they are accused of a crime, it contradicts the rule of law principles. When the executive acts as judge, imposing penalties like demolition, it violates the separation of powers." The court added that public officials engaging in these arbitrary actions must be held accountable. Justice Gavai stressed that public officials need to act transparently in a way that prevents arbitrary or discriminatory decisions. The bench noted, quote-unquote, "Certain binding directives are necessary to ensure that officials do not act in a high-handed, arbitrary, or discriminatory manner." Among the new guidelines, the Supreme Court ruled that officials must issue a notice before any demolition can take place. This directive aims to safeguard citizens against sudden and arbitrary demolitions. Earlier, while reserving judgment, the bench had assured that even convicted criminals would be protected from state-initiated punitive demolitions targeting private property. The Supreme Court's ruling comes in response to challenges against demolitions in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. In these cases, Muslim tenants' homes were demolished after alleged crimes led to communal tensions. These cases were heard alongside a petition from the Jamiat Ulama-e-Hind against similar demolition actions in Jahangirpuri, Delhi in 2022. This judgment now stands as a warning against arbitrary demolition actions across states aiming to uphold due process and protect citizens' rights.
The Pakistan government has reportedly instructed its cricket board not to agree to India's request to relocate Champions Trophy matches to Dubai. Previously, the ICC had notified the PCB, that is the Pakistan Cricket Board, about the BCCI's decision not to travel to Pakistan for the next year's 50-over tournament. The BCCI had allegedly requested that India's matches be held at a neutral venue such as Dubai. Here's a detailed look at why Pakistan is hesitant to agree to a neutral venue for India in the Champions Trophy 2025. The Pakistan government has reportedly instructed the Pakistan Cricket Board, that is a PCB, not to comply with India's request to relocate the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy matches to Dubai amid ongoing tensions over security concerns. The Indian Cricket Board, which is the Board of Control for Cricket in India, also known as the BCCI, had informed the International Cricket Council, the ICC, that it would not travel to Pakistan for the tournament. Instead, the BCCI sought to have India's matches moved to a neutral venue, with Dubai being suggested. An official from the PCB, speaking anonymously, confirmed that the Pakistan government had made its position clear. He said, and I quote, "We have been told by our government not to move any game out of Pakistan, and that will be our stand when the time comes." The official also added, and I quote, "Right now the ICC has only informed us about India's decision. We have the hosting rights for the Champions Trophy and there is no way we can move the games outside Pakistan." The PCB official also provided insight into board's response to ICC. The official said, and I quote, "We have responded to the ICC letter sent last week seeking clarifications regarding the BCCI's decision not to travel to Pakistan for the Champions Trophy 2025. In our reply, we sent them a questionnaire asking for more information on the reasons behind the BCCI's decision. We are eager to understand their position. As of now, there is no talk of moving the games. The 2025 ICC Champions Trophy, which is scheduled to begin on the 19th of February next year and conclude with the final on the 9th of March, will feature 8 teams and is set to be hosted in Pakistan. Karachi, Lahore and Rawalpindi are the designated cities for the tournament. This development marks the latest chapter in the ongoing cricketing and diplomatic tensions between India and Pakistan, which have long been complicated by their fraught political relationship. The two countries have not faced each other in a bilateral series since 2013, and India has not visited Pakistan for a cricket tour in over 16 years. The current standoff over the Champions Trophy is reminiscent of the lead-up to the 2023 Asia Cup. In that case, India had refused to travel to Pakistan while the PCB remained firm on its position as the sole host of the event. As the tournament neared, however, Pakistan eventually agreed to move India's matches to Sri Lanka after intense discussions, though the overall tournament was still held in Pakistan. The strained relationship between India and Pakistan has significantly impacted their cricketing ties, with diplomatic tensions often spilling over into the sport. Despite this, there were hopes earlier this year for some form of rapprochement following a meeting between India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's summit in Islamabad. This marked the first high-level direct conversation between the two nations since 2015. However, since that meeting in mid-October, tensions have escalated again with a series of terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, which have further strained the prospects for any cricketing revival. As the ICC Champions Trophy draws closer, the future of the tournament in Pakistan remains uncertain, with the PCB standing firm on its position while the BCCI continues to push for a neutral venue. Assembly elections for 43 seats are wrapped up on Wednesday by a voter turnout of 64.86% by 5 p.m. as reported by the Election Commission of India. Of these 43 seats, 17 are general constituencies, 20 are reserved for the scheduled tribes and 6 for scheduled castes. The remaining 38 seats will head to polls in Phase 2 on the 20th of November. Several high-profile figures, including former Indian cricket captain MS Dhoni, cast their votes in this phase. Additionally, voting for 31 assembly seats across various states also concluded on Wednesday. Among these, the prominent seat of Wayanad, where Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is contesting, also held its polling. Listen to her message to Wayanad voters.
As I've said many times before, my expectation is that the people of Wayanad give me the chance to repay the love and the affection they've shown me, and to work for them and to be their representative in Parliament.
There are a lot of controversies regarding that Churalmala landslide issue and last that Waqf board issue, and how is your response on these things? On this policy?
I don't think today is a day of talking about these controversies.
Amid the ongoing controversy over the inspection of Shiv Sena UBT chief Uddhav Thackeray's bag, election officials on Wednesday conducted similar checks on bags of Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Union Minister Ramdas Athawale. CM Shinde's bags were inspected at the Palghat Police Ground helipad during his election campaign, while Athawale's bags were checked upon his helicopter arrival in Pune. A government doctor, Dr. Balaji Jagannathan, was repeatedly stabbed by a patient's son at Kalangar Sanitary Hospital in Chennai on Wednesday, according to the police. Dr. Balaji sustained injuries to his neck, ear, forehead, back and stomach and is now being treated in the ICU. The attacker, Vignesh, who's a Chennai resident whose mother had been admitted for chemotherapy, was arrested. Vignesh reportedly attacked Dr. Balaji out of frustration over what he believed was inadequate treatment for his mother. The incident took place in the cancer ward and Vignesh tried to flee afterwards but was apprehended and handed over to the authorities. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin condemned the attack and instructed officials to conduct a thorough investigation into the matter. That's all for the day, but leaving you with visuals of the moustache competition being held at the International Pushkar Fair.